Good morning and welcome. This is Mission Control Houston. You're getting a live view right now of the equipment lock section of the Quest airlock aboard the International Space Station. You can see the crew here getting ready to support the third spacewalk of the year, conducted by NASA astronaut Chari and European Space Agency astronaut Matthias Maurer. Chari and Maurer are suited up and getting ready to exit the station's Quest airlock for a 6.5-hour spacewalk to replace hoses on the radiator beam valve module and make other upgrades to the station as well. We'll get into more detail about their spacewalking tasks in just a minute. SAFER is an acronym that stands for Simplified Aid for EVA Rescue. The SAFER units are a bit like a jetpack. They're worn during spacewalks as a precaution only. They're only used in the unlikely event that the astronauts were to become untethered from the space station. You'll hear all throughout the coverage our ground IV, Stephanie Wilson, today asking the crew to check on their tethers and make sure that all is good there. However, if they were to become untethered, the astronauts would use their SAFER units to propel themselves back to the space station. Matthias Maurer in this spacesuit, front and center with no stripes on it, unmarked, is making his way into the crew lock section of the Quest airlock. This is the next step until we go for depressurization. The pounds per square inch, or PSI, that we experience here on the ground is about 14.7. At normal operating pressure, the spacesuits are pressurized to about 4.3 PSI. That's about what you'd experience if you were standing at an elevation of 30,000 feet. When the astronauts go into the crew lock, we'll be able to give updates as the pressure steadily goes down, and then we expect them to pause for a leak check at about 5 PSA.
EV1 with red stripes and EV2 with white stripes egress the crew lock with tool bags. EV2 goes to the forward face of the station, then port to a crew equipment translation aid cart. EV2 stows the tool bag, while EV1 follows the same path. EV1 retrieves a portable foot restraint and installs it in the robotic arm. After EV1 ingresses the foot restraint, the robotic arm operator flies the crew member to the most inboard port radiator beam valve module worksite. Meanwhile, EV2 follows the nadir handrail path and picks up a previously deployed cable reel bag. EV2 deploys the Ethernet cable along the handrails, then translates Zenith to the camera port 8 worksite. The end of the cable is pre-positioned at the camera stanchion base for later in the EVA. EV2 retraces the path back to the crew equipment translation aid cart, drops off the now empty reel bag, and takes a different bag to the US laboratory module. EV2 takes a cable adapter from the tool bag and translates to the starboard end cone of the European Space Agency's Columbus module. EV2 installs the jumper, which passes power and data from Columbus to the Bartolomeo external platform. EV2 goes to the Bartolomeo platform and closes several cable clamps on the zenith side. This allows future robotic arm operations to install payloads on the platform. EV2 returns to the crew lock bag on the US laboratory module and continues forward and port to the Japanese Space Agency's Kibo module. A section of the thermal blanket has flipped open, and EV2 will close the flap and secure it to handrails with a wire tie. EV2 returns to the bag on the US laboratory module. EV1 installs two ammonia-line jumpers, which were removed on an earlier EVA because of a small leak. The jumpers were refurbished, leak-checked, and reflown. After mating the jumpers' fluid quick disconnects, EV1 will mate two electrical connectors, which will provide heater power. After completing the jumper task, the robotic arm operator flies EV1 to the camera port 8 worksite. EV2 meets EV1 at the camera port worksite after retrieving the new wireless access port capable external high-definition camera from the crew lock. The two crew members exchange tool bags, after which EV2 takes EV1's tool bag back to the crew equipment translation aid cart and stows it. EV2 retrieves a different tool bag and translates to the Port 4 Integrated Electronics Assembly worksite. Several bolts on the 4 alpha side will be released and retorqued at a lower setting. This will make any future robotics replacement operations of those equipment boxes easier to perform. Then EV2 rejoins EV1 at camera port 8. While EV2 was retorquing the 4 alpha bolts, EV1 replaced the existing external high-definition camera with one that provides improved two-way high data rate communications between external payloads and Earth. To ensure the new wireless access port cable does not interfere with the new camera group's ability to pan and tilt, the crew installs a strap to hold the cable in place. EV2 mates the wireless cable to the Ethernet cable routed earlier in the EVA. After the camera changeout is complete, EV1 is flown to the nadir side of station to the port radiator grapple bar worksite. EV1 installs two T-handle tools, which will allow the radiator grapple bar to be used in future EVAs. EV1 is then returned to the forward face of the space station, egresses the robotic arm, and returns the foot restraint to the port cart. While EV1 performs the T-handle tool installation, EV2 translates to a panel on the aft side of the truss. EV2 moves an electrical connector from a non-functional connector to a cable which can provide power. EV2 then picks up tool bags and returns them back to the airlock. After EV2 retrieves another hardware bag from the crew lock, they translate slightly starboard on the forward face and manipulate 3 electrical connectors. Once that is complete, EV2 routes a power cable along the starboard nadir handrail path. EV1 picks up the remaining tool bags and, depending on timing, returns to the crew lock or assists EV2 in routing the cable, Zenith, to the pump module. This completes the planned tasks for the radiator beam valve module jumper install EVA. Crew return to the crew lock and ingress.
Grab that with your hand and push it like towards your body forward left. Put your body forward left, that might clear it from safer handle. Otherwise I need to come out. I'm close to you. Have you yawed for me so that I can reach your safer handle? Towards the key. I think I come outside. Okay, let me move on the obstacle handrail here so you got room. Okay. All right, I'm going to look at each other first, check our tethers are cleared, not real cause it just to get worse. Yeah, and then we can sort out the bag and then the safer handle.
And Roger, Matthias, we concur with that. We like having you egress, get untangled. We'll actually work with the safer handle first, and then we'll do the bag outs.
Okay. I don't know if we can get the handle back in with that bag wrapped around it, though. Because right now I can feel tension. Yeah. I'm cleared. That's on at the moment, sir. Okay.
And Matthias Maurer, our EV2 for the day, is fully egressed from the Quest airlock.
For me to say that the untangling includes the current bag that you're working on now.
Okay, copy. Okay, so that dog goes back in. Nicely done, Matthias. All right. Bags out of the way? No. You're safe there. If you need to pause to get your visor down, you can. We'll get blinded, or you're good? I'm good at the moment. All right. So now, do you need to come close to me? Yep. Well, the strategy was rotate all this stuff out of the way so I don't interfere with you. And I think I can stabilize my body. That would be facing this way, and then turn my safer handle towards you. Alright. We're getting the heck of a translation adaptation time here. So do I need to go around? Into the color. See. Yeah, if you remember that, it's got the 2 positions on the pin when you put it back in, so you get a part of the way in, and then you have to seat it the rest of the way. Yeah.
And Roger, Matthias, we have steps for this safer deploy with the hand controller module. Since you have your hands on it, is it a good time for us to give you that?
Okay, yes, okay, yeah, well, go ahead. Yes, put camera on me?
Yes.
I think I need to switch to my anchor.
We have a big picture external view of both of you.
Okay.
There's
a... Go on or off now? Keep going. Good, so I'm ready for the steps.
Copy, there's a caution. Be careful not to accidentally bump the power switch. And I believe this one is already taken care of for Roger. He has a local tether down. Manual ISO valve on the handle. Take it port to the left to the closed or up position.
the nest. That's arrival. Okay, checking. Hold on.
And Roger, Matthias, we're still talking about it, but what we're thinking is using a wire tie to keep Matthias's, to better secure Matthias's helmet camera. But we're still discussing. Stand by, please.
Okay. All right. Sounds good.
You just heard Ground IV Stephanie Wilson relay to the crew that they're working on a fix for Matthias's helmet camera.
Your assessment, do you think using a wire tie is something that you can perform? Nice work, good checks. We are ready for Matthias to start his translation up the Cetusburg.
Sounds good. And let me know once you're up top and headed forward. Yeah. All right, take it slowly. Yep, absolutely.
Sounds great. And when you get to phase 1, there's a caution, avoid contact with deployed test cable.
My old friend.
Old buddy, old friend.
Tell it high for me, Matthias. I'm on the Cetusburg.
Copy, Roger.
And turn a little sideways here, so I keep an eye on Matthias' tether as I come up. All clear though? It's clear, it's clear. Huh? Maybe I should move it to the lower extension. Good idea.
Matthias, when Roger is ready for you to move, next will be your translation on the P1 Nader handrail path towards the CP8 rail bag.
And you're clear to keep moving, Matthias. I'm above you now, and I think our cutters are clear. I can see mine. I can't see yours, and I think that's because it's got Nader with you. Is this just coming Nader? Output Nader. Output Nader. Okay, 3670.
Copy, 3670.
You just saw the number 3670 peeking out from one of the handrails. This means that Matthias Maurer is right on track and has been routing the Ethernet cable along the handrails correctly, and he's now on his second.
Those settings are in. Working on getting the BRT set up to take it out.
Copy.
That's it.
We have a better view now, and that looks better. Thank you.
Okay. So, I understand I can proceed. In case the heat was flagged, this would be a candidate to come back and release it.
And we like your plan.
All right, the APFR is installed 12, Papa Papa, Fox, 6, black on black. Good pull twist test.
Copy all, and the pitch knob is locked and can be depressed.
Is locked. Again, out and move locked.
Copy that. Nice work with the APFR. You can go back and retrieve the RBV and crew lock bag and stow it on your BRT.
Okay. It worked. It's going straight in nadir. And speed, I would say, like, it was maybe half a meter per minute. A bit faster. Maybe 2-3 meters per minute. But straight in nadir.
And we copy.
A half meter to go.
As we wait to see motion on the robotic arm with Chari on board. Meanwhile, on another part of the International Space Station, astronaut Matthias Maurer is about 3 wire ties away from completing his task. As soon as he's done, he'll begin to...
Matthias, for your departure rate, was that half a meter per second?
Yeah, that's probably about right. Half a meter per second.
Once Matthias Maurer is done with his task, he will retrace his steps across the handrails back to the Zeta cart where they began.
Roger, stand by as we set up for the first of 3 JOCASs.
Copy, 3 JOCASs. Stand by.
Roger, we're starting motion, 7 meters, station zenith. Your head will be facing starboard and zenith. When we're done, we're in course rates.
Copy, I've got my destination in sight.
And he's off. Robotic arm operator Tom Marshburn just confirmed with Chari that he is in motion.
Over your left shoulder. Over my left shoulder. Oh, yes. Look at you. You got the transport. Flight time will be 3804.
Copy, 3804. And we're excited that Raja is having a chance to fly the smooth and friendly skies of Kayla and Tom.
Absolutely. Way better than business class. Hence no thought EMI band.
Copy, Matthias. Good inspection of P2.
And for both sides, so I'm going to make.
We concur. Mate P2 to J2 Alpha.
3 and 4 caps are off. Look at the GoPro survey.
Copy that.
3 was definitely the hardest cap to get off. It felt like it had friction on the first, like 3 threads worth. It's looking at probably the first 1 thread trying to get it off, and then it moved fine after that.
And we copy. And after the GoPro survey, we'd like a power cycle of your WVS.
I just removed the cap, and the next one will be making this one. Good.
Copy that. That's a good plan.
Good contact. No thoughts with you, my bad.
Copy. You have a go to mate. And Raja?
For me or for Matthias?
For Matthias, yep. That's it. All synced up just like that for Matthias at the Papa's worksite. And Raja, I'm ready for to start the blocks with you for mate and opening of F128 to M4.
I'm ready.
Inspect the QD for debris or damage.
No debris or damage.
Verify QD is ready to mate by checking detemp button up, locking collar in the locked position, and forward white band not visible.
Press button is up in the locked position, and no forward white band is visible.
Assess and counteract side loads prior to mate and mate the QD.
Maurer is on the Columbus module now, working to mate some cables that will go from the Columbus module onto the Bartolomeo platform. Maurer will move onto the platform itself to close some cable clamps on the zenith or space-facing side. This task allows for future installation of payloads by the robotic arm. Even though Maurer is on the Columbus module now, he does have a bag stowed onto the US Destiny module, and so when he's done with this task, he'll return to his tool bag and move on to some other tasks. We're now 3 hours into today's spacewalk with European Space Agency astronaut Matthias Maurer on the Bartolomeo platform. He is loosening some clamps to make it easier for future installation of scientific payloads onto the Bartolomeo platform using the robotic arm. He's on the second clamp now, working his way down a series of clamps on his task list, but he's going to do as many as he has time for.
Understand.
Put the cap keeper back in the bag too, just so I can get some more room to breathe in here. You know, I need that for the MDGLs later, but I'll deal with that when I get to the other side.
And Roger, up to you. If you can put the cap keeper in the crew lock bag also.
All right, back with you on Tom, and it's going to be body and GCA back to the work site.
Take arm, body in 65 centimeters, back to the work site.
Copy. And I am, Matthias, anything you can talk about here in the next few minutes? Say again? I'm about to take the comm with the GCA, anything you can talk about? No, I don't do anything. I'm working clamp 3, clamp 4 is closed. All right, copy. And sun's coming our way shortly. And Tom, I'm ready to start GCA.
Copy, we're starting motion, body in.
Copy.
Roger, you're checking the body front and front boot plate clearance.
Yeah, good clearance. I see motion. Or actually, that's a speak picture.
Clearance.
You got good clearance, yeah.
Continue.
Plate's clear.
Copy.
Test is clear.
Fifteen to go.
Copy. Still good clearance in the blue plates.
That is the published position. Anything else you need?
Stand by.
You may have heard astronaut Chari call out the MLI, or multi-layer insulation, not to be confused with where Matthias Maurer is headed. He is not yet at the Japanese module where he'll be installing that insulation, and Chari is just talking about some at his own work site.
Copy.
Copy, Matthias. Thanks for the words. Roger, to open the valve, prior and during bail movement, assess and counteract side loads, and rotate the locking collar to the unlocked position.
Unlocked.
Depress D10 button and move bail to the forward position.
It's forward. Bail is forward. Aft white band is visible.
Copy. Check D10 button up.
Button's up. Should be depressed and raises back up.
Excellent. Rotate the locking collar to the locked position.
It's in the locked position.
Copy that. You can remove any EGRESS and install the booty over the Q.
Copy. MLI.
You just heard the call out, put the booty over the cutie. In spacewalking terms, this means Chari is going to be putting a protective cover over the quick disconnect that he's been working with throughout his task working on the radiator beam valve module. You're getting a split screen look now at our two spacewalking astronauts on opposite sides of the truss. After they complete their respective tasks that they're working on now, they're actually going to meet up for the first time from the beginning of the spacewalk to work on installing a camera together before Matthias Maurer goes off to work on other tasks.
And Stephanie's modus, I will keep the GoPro with me for this translation.
And Matthias, we like your plan.
All right, MLI is installed, bail covers, the bails are covered. And with that, I believe we're ready for GCA's published NGL panel.
Roger, we copy. We're going to take you body out 10 centimeters and then body down 25 centimeters and ready for motion on your GCA.
Hey, Matthias, you need anything? No, I'm good. I have it all. I'm on my way to Jen for your awareness. Copy. All right, let's start GCA.
Starting GCA, starting motion.
All right, so good motion away.
Good motion. Your body out, 25 centimeters now, body down.
Copy. I see good motion, body down towards the FTGL panel.
Good motion.
Blade is clear, radiator's clear, all is clear.
Copy, good clearances. Motion is complete. Let us know if you need additional GCA.
Well, I am going to be more body down, I think. I'm probably going to need body down 15 centimeters and body in 10 centimeters.
Copy. We'll start with body down 15 centimeters and starting motion.
We're nearly 3.5 hours into today's spacewalk, and astronaut Chari is working on the last task of his radiator beam valve module jumper installation. His last task here that he's moving on to on the robotic arm is to mate two electrical connectors that will provide heater power.
Body in 10 centimeters.
I've got clearance to my helmet.
Not only does it provide heater power, but it also gives Mission Control the ability to control the valves and the ammonia that flows through them.
Roger, Kayla and Tom, good news. There's a good checkout of the heaters from the ground. So we'll go to continue arm ops. And my fault also for not catching that. My apologies.
No problem. We'll all make mistakes about that plane today. Great news on the heater checkout. And ready to continue motion when you are, Tom.
Thanks for watching over us, Stephanie. We are starting motion again.
Chari previously completed his last task on the radiator beam valve module installation by mating two electrical connectors that will provide heater power, and the ground just did a checkout of the heater and confirmed that it did work. Chari is now on the move to his next work site at the camera that he'll be working to install. You're looking at a live view of Matthias Maurer as he's on the Destiny module collecting his items that he brought out there with him. He's going to bring all of those items to the airlock and replace them for the camera bag. He'll be meeting up with Roger Chari after he's got his bag from the airlock, and the two will meet up for the first time since the beginning of the EVA.
And Stephanie, I can confirm that PTU lock lever that you want me to look for, it is oriented Vader zenith, so it runs along the stanchion.
That's good news, and that's a good config.
Timing-wise, Stephanie, are we planning on flying through the bag swap, or is this setting up to go to bag swap next? Wait and see mode. I think we're pretty well synced, it seems like.
Checking.
This way?
Rotate towards your left, clockwise. Continue in that direction. Good motion. Good motion. Continue.
This way, okay.
Good motion. Continue.
Okay.
Good motion. Continue. Pause here. Now the tether is on your right side, and you might be able to see it. Now it's clear from your shoulders and helmet. It might just be tucked along on your PGT.
Okay. So if I keep on turning this way, that should...
Stop motion. Now it's over your right arm. Now you've cleared it.
Good. Wow, thank you, Stephanie. That was a space bounce.
Nice work.
You may have seen the tether floating between Matthias's legs and across behind his right knee. That was the tether giving him some problems, but he just freed himself of his tether and now is free to go on to his next task.
Very good. I'll fix the green hook as soon as I get closer.
Copy.
It's tether still out there. Do this, and I'm clear of it. But when he come back, it's definitely actually very close. So always be mindful when you come back. Okay.
The white bag that you see floating on the top of the screen next to our spacewalker is the bag that's containing the high-definition camera that Maurer is working to deliver.
We'd like your clearance to the CP8 camera. Body in 1 meter.
I've got the clearance to the camera. Start GCA.
Copy. Starting motion.
Motion towards the camera.
Copy. Good motion. Half meter to go.
Copy. I won't get a whole half meter. Our video workstation gets pretty close here. Then you still got good clearance.
20 to go.
Nothing? Not yet, so you get... Okay, you have the black. So I'm looking through a mirror. You obviously can't see this. There's a set of screws around the PA clamp side of the new camera, and so the black alignment mark lines up with that's the second screw on the bottom, and that second screw is aligned with the SD camera. So I'm pretty confident that those are aligned, but if on the ground, if that black line, the alignment mark on the HD camera and that second screw aren't actually parallel to each other, they look in the mirror, then maybe if not, but best I can tell in the mirror, they are aligned. And I did see the camera lever pop that time. Pulling
Copy.
down on it, not moving.
We're discussing.
Typically, when I had the cam lever unlocked, open, I was able to slide it down, and now I can't slide it down. So it seems two confirming things that it is in. Pretty sure it's fine the way it is, not because it's the fact that it's wire tied to the outside of that TA clamp routing. I think it's got to be like that, but or it doesn't matter.
And Roger, we copy. We were looking at the imagery and the loop. It should be more aligned with the light cable, and so you can open the lock lever on the restraint, and in a sense flip the cable over so that the marshmallows reverse, and then reinstall it into the clamp, and then the loop will be in your view at the bottom.
Oh, I see. Got you. Okay, yep, that's my bad.
Chari working at the ground now at the exact route that he should be taking the wireless access port cable. There's very specific instructions from the ground on exactly how they want this wire to be placed, to be out of the way, so that the camera has the ability to move all around.
Have it? Yeah, don't take it yet, though. Okay. Just out of the way. I see in the WVS, with both cables in there, it's hard to get that clamp depressed enough to pull the lock lever out. So try to find a position where I can do that.
And we copy. We see that as well, right? The cables are filling up putting some back pressure on that lever. Our only words are to continue doing what you're doing, which is push in and rotate the lock lever towards the light.
Motion is now complete of the robotic arm as Chari is in place for cable clamp installation. Just a minute ago, he gave a visual look around of the camera to give the crew on the ground a good visual of what he's working with.
And at the interface of the two cylinders.
Okay. No change on the right glove. The left glove, I got a smudge on my left palm near the thumb, but otherwise, I'm... crew lock bag. On the external of the bag, I have 2.
Matthias, at this point, with your work on panel A316 complete, I'd like you to translate back to your green hook, pick that up, head to the port CETA cart, pick up the P4 crew lock bag that's on the CETA cart, bundle that with the RBVM crew lock bag, and head to the airlock to stow the bags.
Copy on. Thank you.
You're welcome. And for Roger, we are ready for the inventory on the inside of the bag.
Inside the bag, I've got the vestibule attached to a scoop and a window cover attached to the HD camera. And the HD camera is attached via one of the internal AET the bag. That's how they're point on it. Also inside, I see another adjustable that's attached to a small ret. And on one end of the adjustable is a scoop, brown scoop, on the other end, another HD camera cover.
Once Chari installs the APFR, or we're talking about the portable foot restraint here, he's going to be working to swap his tethers over so that he can make his way over to the airlock as well.
The expander that I brought into the airlock is out, and I'm lingering below the airlock.
And you send copies as well. As you hang out below the airlock, you can close the thermal cover.
APFR is removed, getting it on my left side, and I'll start taking it over towards the CETA cart.
Copy, Roger. Matthias, we have a proposal. How do you feel about doing a bit of airlock pick pin imagery?
See, that's already my waist tether attached to it. Can I hand you my left waist tether to go to your anchor hook? Do you want me to? I can get it because you've got a low tap, so I can pick up your anchor hook. Yeah, I think like it's maybe better if you give me your back, or do you want to give it me on the inside? Whatever you prefer. If you can give it to me now, then I can push it in front of me. This might be the clearest. I'm going to get a local down so I can work on that. Okay, so it's, I can start it halfway up there. Over. Going up ERT, right? It's a touch to me. Got it? Yeah. I go that one. With ERT, right? I got it. Okay. Do you want to put, instead of being attached to you, do you want that back to the airlock D-ring, or are you okay with it being on you? Let's push it in front of me. Okay. Take a last look before I can. Take it out. I gotta set up my BRT set up here anyways.
Matthias, we copy you have the bag bundle on a RET to you, and as you ingress, you can also power off your HECA.
It goes off. EV2 is in the airlock. Copy.
And with EV2's waist tether already attached to the airlock D-ring extender, Matthias, when you're ready, you can give Raja a go to release your anchor hook.
I'll tell you how to go. Okay, release my anchor hook. And attach it to your waist tether. Yep, that's what I'm working on.
Raja Chari in view there at the top of your screen, working his way into the airlock. EV2 Matthias Maurer is already safely inside and is working with his crewmate to get Raja Chari back inside.
Okay, your anchor hook is off the floor, D-ring, and attached to my left waist tether. Both are gate closed, locked black on black. With that, I have a good load past BAU, the station. So I'm going to pick up my anchor hook. Do it.
Houston concurs.
You just got a brief glance at the huge smile across Matthias Maurer's face after a job well done on his spacewalk.
4.115 in the EVA systems book.
The crew is now working to first get his safer unit off, which they completed, and then they're going to take his helmet off.
Read those steps to you if you desire.
we're ready for the Delta to step 46.
All right, thanks, Mark. So if you could please take photos of Raja's right boot, the top of his boot, that would be appreciated. We think it may have contacted the lee at some point. And then in step 47, could you please have Matthias inspect the electro leads of his sternal harness? We had an intermittent biomed connection at the end of the EVA, and so if he could inspect the sternal harness when he doffs that, we'd appreciate it.
Okay, copy all. Right foot for Raja and sternal harness for Matthias.
Good words.
Astronauts Caleb Barron and Tom Marshburn, our suit IVs, are continuing on to help our spacewalkers out of their spacesuits today. However, they're going to continue to monitor the situation with the water in the spacesuit, taking pictures and taking notes of anything else that they may see.